House of Dawn.
There is a symbol set in the heart of this continent and known directly and indirectly among all its aboriginal inhabitants.
A symbol whose reality still has an irrepressible potency in the mind of its adherents and all those that are attracted to its beauty.
It is a symbol that has survived catastrophic depopulation and every atrocity and indignity and disease, intentionally and unintentionally spread, and every injustice possible or conceived.
Every marginalization, disenfranchisement, and the villainization of its practitioners, abuse of the speakers of its languages, a symbol and promise surviving genocide itself.
That anyone would say all my relations and mean it, Mitakuye is a testament to a great teaching and a great outpouring of love in the ancient past that led to a great abiding.
A refining of character over peoples, cultures, languages, and time, and in ways that resonated with each other to such a degree that at their finest,
they'd strike loving admiration into the hearts of one in appreciation of the other.
And people would be heard in council.
This seeing the world as a listening, speaking, aware whole that operates in accord somehow with good living. The use of knowledge in good ways that upholds the dignity of all the worlds, the animals, the water, the land, all this operating in awareness of each other, as if all spoke the same language. The creatures give themselves to us by use of this language of the spirit.
This, in degrees and waves, true in intent and expression, was cherished widely in the hearts of all its peoples, and that is felt in your heart, that response in your own being to the sound of the drum. Kleach gach dach. From this drumbeat, this time forward.
And that which is invoked by the highest arts and sciences of this continent and integrated so thoroughly into the lives of its adherents that it would be inseparable from life itself. As it is said among the Dekhitan, Dinayach, our culture, literally our breath. So fundamental is our education in it, the dynamics of the spiritual lives of a community, that it is described as breath, that is evidence of an ancient fundamental teaching, as is the medicine wheel. Niyitz dohol te. Niyitz dohol te. Let me be your breath.
Tonight, we remember one who would invoke that medicine wheel before an ever-darkening world, and in such a way that generations of scholars and admirers will study and return again to hear further his clear voice and marvel at his exempling of it.
For it was his very breath, his culture, by his deeds, he was sustained by and lived for its full expression in this world, and that was his role, as it were.
He was the gift of his father to humanity, a perfect example of the possibility of Khegach Shinget, a true person, to whom we look and model our lives after in loving service.
His service, his strength, his joy, his purpose, all in his name given to him by his Father.
His sacred name he preferred above all lofty and ever-fitting titles. His name, Servant of Baha.
Servant of light.
Abdul Baha.
That name by its calling would delight the heart and eyes of the blessed beauty.
And calling upon his name invokes his qualities and person.
It would be even as meeting him face to face. To his ways an example, future states, people and councils, artists and scientists will aspire, for it's even as Baha'u'llah has said, the light of a good character outshines the sun.
The simplicity of his life, his purposefulness, purity of heart, the complexity of love and sacrifice, suffering, healing, and following the sacred pattern, guiding by selfless, steadfast service to restore a hoop, once envisioned, once lived,
Once broken, once remembered,
now restored, and never ending.
to live by a purpose so truly and thoroughly as to expend every breath and drop of love in the effort to revive the world, to ennoble its life, to regenerate its people.
And to explore with all peoples of this continent in all divers venues and homes the paths that lead to the happiness of the nations and a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting.
This was Abdul Baha's life.
Yea, away. And he spoke continually of a day promised to us in this continent by our Creator, promised to us in the very voices of our own people, our dreams, our languages, songs, dances.
Our service to each other, our whole civilization and tribes and surviving remnants.
And the example of the countless martyrs of our people, the first inhabitants of this continent.
He exhorted us to be even as the morning stars of that day. It's even as our beloved traditional chief, Peter John, whose life spanned the entirety of the 20th century, said again and again in countless settings, God has given us each a language to praise him with. Chuwitzin, Chuwitzin. He'd exhort us. Chuwitzin, he'd say, love.
Chuwitzin, the indigenous friends of Alaska, Hande Ijin, give me your hand, have been asked to host this evening on behalf of our nation at the Mother Temple. It is our humble joy to do so, and we have a message to the people of this continent in this dark night, a message carried by the one we honor this night.
A message of a true healer who waited all his long years to the eldest years of his life.
Racing here in such a rush and without warning, no one knew at first where to or even that he had gone. He left at his first availability, that is, the fall of the Ottoman Empire and the freeing of all captives of the state. When he was freed, all were freed.
He, a prisoner for over 40 years in the Holy Land, took a ship to Egypt, the land of refuge, then to the west, through Europe over many months, and by ship to Turtle Island.
To touch this red earth with his own feet, to commune with our shores, our lakes, rivers, and vastness, to apply the medicine of his people, the living out of the blessed beauty's wish for him and humanity.
He'd implore the people at every opportunity towards perfect unity and peace, warning them of a dark future, imploring them to aspire to every good advancement for the benefit of humanity.
And offering a path to a reality described in the writings as being crimson, a path to the most great peace.
By practical and inspired means.
It was the design of his father, the founder of the Baha'i faith, and he'd speak to all future generations by record of his words spoken here on this continent in 1912 and the remarkable deeds and clarifications he made here.
Our message from Alaska in this dark night echoes directly the words of the Universal House of Justice. Have hope.
It will not always be so.
Ahead of you lies times of trial and promise,
Of hardship and progress.
of anguish and joy.
Under all conditions, the Master is your solace and support.
For those of you who aspire to lasting change, his example guides the way, tactful and wise in his approach, penetrating in utterance, indiscriminating in fellowship.
Unfailing in sympathy for the downtrodden, courageous in conduct.
Persevering in action, imperturbable in the face of tests.
Unwavering in his keen sense of justice, and to all those who arise to emulate him, he offers this unfailing assurance.
That which is confirmed is the oneness of the world of humanity. Every soul who serveth this oneness will undoubtedly be assisted and confirmed.
For through the world, on the grand and small scale, may not fully aware as of yet, with all the darkness and complexity of this moment. But this is the day we have been telling stories about for generations, to keep alive the possibility of light, the possibility of the return of the sun, the moon, and the stars, and daylight itself.
Chuitzen, love. It is for this unique creation of God,
Abdul Baha,
at once human,
and yet gifted another nature.
not a manifestation or prophet, but at once the humblest among us, and the highest soaring creatures for metaphors.
The center of a covenant between his Father and humanity that would ask us to turn to Abdul Baha as our example of a true person, and whose wishes we'd honor when he passed, maintaining this covenant, continuity to today's Universal House of Justice.
Abdul Baha, his reality and our honoring of that reality would secure the destiny of this continent and lead to the achievement of the medicine wheel through all the worlds, which is
Utter self-effacement before one's creator, and cherishing an abiding love of humanity with our deeds, our arts, and sciences. Ha Shagun, the Tlingits say in Alaska, the past, present, and future together at once.
This is thorough living. It is as the spirit world is, without time, without space, the only way Abdul Baha could ever live, and the only way he'd pass on to the other worlds by way of the smoke hole up into the sky, and the moon is revealed, though not without securing his wishes first, uniting those worlds.
Ha Shagun, this figure, this unique and wondrous person, humble and majestic in nature, walked this land, and seeing its reality, conversed with its worlds and ancient soul, and signaling in ways to the indigenous peoples, ways that will astound scholars and generations, that the day had indeed come for the universal fulfillment of the greatest remembrance.
The noblest name.
The most ancient way. This is the changeless faith of God, eternal in the past, eternal in the future, At the heart of the continent, he laid a stone upon the ground, a fixed spot upon the earth, with his own hands and a humble spade.
He called out in the manner of the Chega Tlingat, the true people, producing an immediate response, put there in our languages by our ancestors who spoke the languages that God gave each of us, answering the great challenge to proceed to the task to the degree of embodying it so wholly it is already truth, to the foundations of culture. Igwaya Kwan.
Yay, Kwachi! It is done. Whoosh Ja'im, we will dance together.
The land on which all ages would be singularly the only house of worship to be built by guidance and wisdom and blessed by the hands of Abdul Baha himself in the placement of its cornerstone.
Over the eastern door of this Mother Temple of the West is a quote by Abdul Baha's father, and for which Abdul Baha would give every ounce of his life and call us all to achieve in his physical inability to travel to the ends of the earth, the announcement in all regions, this reality.
The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens.
Nothing says the reality of these words, immediately understandable to all nations, regardless of language, the path to and promise of the most great peace, as does our medicine wheel.
Such a thing, this detail of beauty,
arranged surely from another realm,
is highlighted here as a confirmation of Dinachoto, our Father, our Creator, a draft of Be Thou Assured.
Gunashchish, an adekli offered between the goded. Ho ho, Yaduha,
A chalice of pure light, and can be enjoyed as evidences of true honor,
of true love,
true beauty.
true medicine for the ages.
Now, a land acknowledgement for those who further or more recently in time were custodians of the land, of which Abdul Baha laid the cornerstone that was to become this house of dawn.
This box of daylight.
Lord, pitiful are we, grant us thy favor. Poor, bestow upon us a share from the ocean of thy wealth. Needy, do thou satisfy us. Abased, give us thy glory. The fowls of the air and the beasts of the field receive their meat each day from thee, and all beings partake of thy care and loving kindness. Deprive not this feeble one of thy wondrous grace, and vouchsafe by thy might unto this helpless soul thy bounty. Give us our daily bread, and grant thine increase in the necessities of life, that we may be dependent on none other than thee, may commune wholly with thee, may walk in thy ways, and declare thy mysteries. Thou art the Almighty, and the loving, and the provider of all mankind.
Tikia ka ya ka tikia ki plus sayak ya ko dia, dia, asqini, yeah, amen.
We entreat thee by thy name, O Lord my God, through which the hour hath struck, and the resurrection came to pass, and fear and trembling seized all that are in heaven and all that are on earth, to rain down from the heaven of thy mercy and the clouds of thy tender compassion, to gladden the hearts of thy servants who have turned toward thee and helped thy cause. Keep safe thy servants and thy handmaidens, O my Lord, from the darts of idle fancy and vain imaginings, and give from the hands of thy grace a draught of the soft flowing waters of thy knowledge. Thou truly art the Almighty, the most exalted, the ever forgiving, and the most generous.
Nahanua Duchi Datkani, our work prayer. Chanan Nakaltani, Yali Jani Na Akilanda, Yalich Konaya Talkun. Thank you for this day, it's a good day. But Chadach Nelnash Nakaltani, we pray to you, Nakaltani. Chakainak and Chetni Natukta, we say thank you, our Father. Sukunalaka Kokhanstat, you gave us everything. Yadi Kilan Etlen Gu, whatever is on earth. Chanan Etlen Bunkta, Chadalkadi Niltu. Thank you, Earth Mother, for our provisions. Na Etlena Duchi Deliyi, we respect our homeland. E uch ka Tzadaltsiyi, we live upon the outdoors. Na Tzitsatna Nuchelnash, we remember our ancestors. Na Cheataina da Chakilkudel, our ancestors who are still walking with us. Kodi Jangu Nanuni Detoch, help us today. Kuta Ush Chutudel Chenizan, we want to go the right direction. Nakalje Chukayagu Nugudeli Na Akilanda, we have the light and we know the way. Yari Nahanua Tluku Yalach Katula Sedi. Yari Nahanua Tluku Yalach Katula Sedi. Yari Hanu Tluku Yalat Sedi. Whatever work we're doing, may it turn out for the best. Kocha.
Atawak tuknuna nasu witawiklu nunahpaklu ixchaquklu ingritlu witawiklu qanqlu gwinariaqlu nunallu imahpiklu qiqtaqlu nunami agayutum qanrut kumalha.
I was to go on pilgrimage. We entered that room, the space where Abdu'l-Baha passed away, and we gathered there silently. And we sat there, we only had just but a few minutes. There, it all happened, and people looked around and pointed with their eyes at this pure heart, this young girl, this child, who was so taken in the moment that she must know the way of the breath, the way of the heart and truth. And there, she became aglow, and she dropped to her knees slowly. As she plowed her head to the ground, and we were all struck in wonder at the beautiful, safe place she would be. And it allowed us all then to turn and bow our own heads and our hearts to the ground and open up what we'd have to ever say. And we entered into a timeless place. And we were there what seemed for hours. We finally came to that we'd have to go on. But everything had been told, and all the windows were open, and we could hear the street sounds outside. We could begin to breathe again as we became more of an atmosphere of the sounds of the street and the city and the world. And there, among all that breath, all that beauty and light, was a unique sound that every one of us all knew. And I knew it was a miracle and the sign of God. Yabaholapa, Yabaholapa. They say it all goes back to a single strand of love. And people have pictured that and named it as being that of a tapestry that's slowly being revealed out of a single strand. But I knew in the sound that it was this, a single strand of notes, a simple melody that would be the very purity of this girl here. And it was a violin of somebody simply practicing, and it must have been that it was on their heart and in truth that God placed a star there out of love. And I could hear them practicing a small strand of notes, and I knew in that moment that was a sign that out of a single strand of love notes would indeed foretell a great orchestra and a great music.
This prayer, revealed by Abdu'l-Baha, is read at his shrine. It is also used in private prayer. Whoso reciteth this prayer with lowliness and fervor will bring gladness and joy to the heart of this servant. It will be even as meeting him face to face. He is the All-Glorious. O God, my God, lowly and tearful, I raise my suppliant hands to thee and cover my face in the dust of that threshold of thine. Exalted above the knowledge of the learned and the praise of all that glorify thee. Graciously look upon thy servant, humble and lowly at thy door, with the glances of the eye of thy mercy, and immerse him in the ocean of thine eternal grace. Lord, he is a poor and lowly servant of thine, enthralled and imploring thee, captive in thy hand, praying fervently to thee, trusting in thee, in tears before thy face, calling to thee and beseeching thee, saying, O Lord my God, give me thy grace to serve thy loved ones. Strengthen me in my servitude to thee. Illumine my brow with the light of adoration in thy court of holiness, and of prayer to thy kingdom of grandeur. Help me to be selfless at the heavenly entrance of thy gate, and aid me to be detached from all things within thy holy precincts. Lord, give me to drink from the chalice of selflessness. With its robe clothe me, and in its ocean immerse me. Make me as dust in the pathway of thy loved ones, and grant that I may offer up my soul where the earth ennobled by the footsteps of thy chosen ones in thy path, O Lord of glory in the highest. With this prayer doth thy servant call thee at dawntide and in the night season. Fulfill his heart's desire, O Lord. Illumine his heart, gladden his bosom, kindle his light, that he may serve thy cause and thy servants. Thou art the bestower, the pitiful, the most bountiful, the gracious, the merciful, the compassionate.
Ade Abdul Baha. Adesli Abdul Baha. Yok och tek du och Abdul Baha. Wujin Haseti Wujin Haseti Och Licht Och tek du och Och tek du och Abdul Baha. Gunul Tisch Och Licht Och tek du och Och tek du och Abdul Baha. Och tek du och Salt Lake Royalty Abdul Baha. Salt Lake Royalty Och tek du och Abdul Baha. Och tek du och Abdul